Hello everyone, welcome to a special series just for YouTube. You don't know me, my name is FirstDane, and normally, at least so far, the bulk of the content that I've uploaded to YouTube has been Twitch highlights, runs that I've found to be particularly interesting throughout my Twitch streams, but upcoming soon is going to be the release of the Watcher, and I've talked about this many times on stream to where I really wanted to get in, dive deep, and just grind through a few of these Ascension levels. And a lot of people were asking me what that means. What does it mean to just get through some Ascension levels? Because people get stuck. You get stuck on Ascension 8, Ascension 17, something somewhere in the middle there. I don't know. It depends on the character, your playstyle, your risk tolerance, things like that. So they kept asking me, what does it mean to just rush through some Ascension levels? And that's what I'm trying to show off with this series. And then at the very least, it can be some kind of working archive or something like that where people can go back and maybe take a look at it. I'm not guaranteeing that every run is going to be a success. I think there's a generic formula that you can use, and at least I find until you approach Ascension 20, you don't have to take as many risks. We're not going on to try to kill the heart, we're just trying to kill the Spire, or at least the Act 3 boss. So I'm going to dive in here and hopefully show off what I mean. No promises, like I said, that this is going to be a win straight out of the gate, but maybe we can go through a few techniques and see how it goes. Looks like we have a spicy 4 elite path that we might be able to do somewhere along the middle line here. Campfire elite, campfire elite. Basically 2 elites in a row with a campfire in between these two as well. One thing that I don't think is expressed enough, or in the game doesn't tell you at all, is that by the time you hit your 4th normal enemy in the act, it is of a higher difficulty pool than the first 3 combats. So people will often ask as well, how do you pick your paths? Well, I'll show you what my basic thought process is here. We're gonna go 2 combats here, 2 events, and then a 3rd combat into an elite. Now this is more risky because we can't rest or anything like that before an elite, but we are not, well, maybe we'll get a 4th combat, but we're potentially not getting a 4th combat going into this elite. So it's as safe as we can be pre-upgrades and things like that. If we look at our options here, we have enemies in your next 3 combats have 1 HP. This can be really nice for just a quick tempo type of thing. We can rush through. That would be okay. Maybe we pick up some potions along the way, and we don't get to snipe an elite, but maybe if we were to go this path, we would be able to get this one for free. We're not going to do that. Choose a colorless card to obtain. Not particularly exciting. I do not like taking a curse at all. We are on Ascension 10, so we already have the Ascender's Bane in our deck. We don't want to flood our deck with things that we can't play early on. So even if the curse is okay, say we get a clumsy curse that we just draw and then it goes away. It's ethereal. We still have to draw it, which is oftentimes the worst part about curses in general. So what I've found so far in the lower Ascensions is that just swapping out your boss relic can sometimes, I mean, it's not a guaranteed win or anything like that, but starting each combat with a single miracle, it's okay. Sometimes it's an extra 12 damage, that's nice. Sometimes it's an extra 5 block, okay. I don't know, I'm gonna try to do a boss relic swap into, I guess, a Philosopher's Stone, and just kind of see how it goes. 1 extra strength this early on, not too scared. The early elites, things like a Gremlin Knob or a Lagavulin, aren't going to scale too badly off of that. I think the Tri-Sentries probably have the biggest risk of doing damage to us. We'll take an early wheel kick for some damage and draw as well. Might as well take extra draw with 4 energy. Should allow us to, yeah, exactly, just like that. Full block, get some extra damage in, and not have to worry too much about dumb little jawworm there. Bowling Bash. All right, let's see what our boss is. Boss is the Guardian. So we like Bowling Bash a lot for the Tri-Sentries. It's kind of Tri-Sentry insurance. But at current, it's only just very slightly better than a Strike. It's great for hallway fights, things like that. Sash Whip could also be very good for Lagavulin Gremlin Knob. I'm going to do the Bowling Bash, though. Sure. Do this. Do the Eruption. No, we're not going to take a curse for reasons that I already talked about. I don't like that event for many other reasons that I just won't go into great detail on in this run in particular. again, the idea here is that we are just rushing through as much as we can to try to get through some early combats. This is probably our explosive potion, but don't want to jump the gun on that yet. No, for our next turn is very safe, but I figure we only need to do about 14 damage to this one. We have Wrath, Bowling Bash. So Bowling Bash next turn is 21 damage. So if we just strike this one and drop 3 defends, we'll take a little bit of damage, but this sentry is dead next turn no matter what. You have an eruption here. We do have Wheel Kick. We have Calm in play, so we can always Windmill Strike. So this is going to be 22 damage. And we know we have a kill on this one. So it's between Eruption, Windmill Strike, and Wheel Kick. I think we have it. Admittedly, I'm not going to do the math, but we should have it. Ooh. It's interesting. 22 damage. Let's save it for next turn. It's a small risk. We would need to draw 20 damage, so exactly 2 strikes to be able to kill this sentry next turn. Or no, just 1, because we're gonna explosive potion. Yeah, that seems good. Up an Eternal Feather. Chance at an inner piece, like water, and a crescendo. I can really like water. I like that a lot for the Guardian fight in particular. Yeah. I don't think Windmill Strike is particularly good. I was just going to say on the Gremlin Knob fight, but here we are. This is spooky. So now we could do math. So this is going to be 30 damage, 39. I don't think we have enough, right? 39, 52, we're 1 damage off. Fortunately or not, we're being made vulnerable this turn. So the Gremlin Knob is attacking in a pattern that is very similar to is what would be on Ascension 20. So we could choose to... Let's see, let me make sure I have this math right. This is going a little slower than I actually thought it was going to go. 39, 52. So we are definitely off. Ah. And it's unfortunate. And this was the path where we were planning on taking on 2 elites in a row. This could just come down to... I don't know. Maybe we could have saved our explosive potion on the Tri-Sentries and had a safer fight here. Maybe. I don't remember. Maybe we could have played Like Water earlier. I don't recall. We also have to figure out if we ever get a kill next turn, which is scary. So if this is on 20 and we do 12 damage right now, you're on 41. So effectively, what did I just say? 41? 21 HP. So we would have to do, well, it would have to be exactly, no, Wheel Kick, Bowling Bash. We don't have enough energy. I don't know if we have it. I think we die from Eruption Defend, right? This goes to 50 plus 4, 54. We block for 54. The problem. Shouldn't have played that Like Water. Well, I'm pretty sure we're dead. Let's take a look. Oh, we are not dead. Hold on, hold on. It's fine. Totally according to plan. Pick up a gambling chip, a bottled miracle, chance at our sash whip. So things have not gone according to plan, to say the least. Again, this is going to be our 4th combat of the act, so I want to be a little more hesitant about just rushing into that one. We could try to take on like a Lagavulin or something like that. There is a world where that works just fine. I don't know if we live in that world, honestly. We could just kind of go for it and take the risk, and then we're into a campfire, and I'm feeling pretty good about that. Oh, turns out there was no risk at all. It was totally fine the whole time. I want to keep the wheel kick. I want to keep Windmill Strike plus Bowling Bash. Bowling Bash is one of our best damage cards right now, and eventually Windmill Strike will just one-shot like the last one. Wheel kick is just okay. Some damage, yeah. I think that's fine. Fun little sound effect. Could have played our Bottled Miracle there to save a bit of HP too, I guess. I don't think that's wise, but we could have. So with 4 energy, this only does 30 damage. So we would have 39 between Eruption and Windmill Strike. Yeah, it's not time, I feel. Close, but not quite. We did not get Like Water into play yet, so we are not quite full blocking now. When's the right time to play Windmill Strike? I don't know anymore. In my mind, I was waiting for Eruption to show up, but time has not come yet. All right. An Orichalcum, a chance at a very early wish. Sure. Why not? We're on 4 energy. We'll go ahead and get it upgraded as well. Wish is going to allow us to gain 8 plated armor, either 8 plated armor, 4 strength, or 30 gold. Gold is the good old greed option that I think a lot of people... I don't know. I don't know if it's like a meme, but a lot of people like to mess around and take the gold option as much as they can, just to be just a little greedy. Not a lot of greedy, just a little greedy. Which is exactly what I'm setting up here. We don't have Like Water into play, though. So our option is to take 6 damage here, or just kill it. I think we just kill it. Oh no, we had Orichalcum, we blocked for 9. Well, anyway. It's fine. I take the Protect for the Guardian fight. Kremlin Knob round 2. Ugh. Well. You know, the good news is we got Like Water into play. We have Orichalcum now. Like, we have ways to block a fair amount. Like, giving the Gremlin Knob plus 2 strength there while we're gaining 5 block every single turn, not a huge deal. This is now, again, 39, 52? Yeah. Easy. Pick up an Akabiko as well. Is it time for a third eye? Sure. I think the Guardian fight has a lot of instances where you're kind of setting up. So I like the third eye, and if we could keep the Guardian weak, or just take Like Water, I think we'd be in a good spot. I like Water. I mean, the Guardian takes very few turns off, so being able to stay... Nice. This is kind of scary. Being able to stay in calm and block for 7 seems like a really nice value. Don't get Wish off. Okay, we have Calm coming up next turn, so we can pretty safely do this. And even if we didn't, we're blocking for just a ton of damage without actually having to do anything at all. Let me see how much we're blocking for. So we're blocking for 6, 13, 17 damage without having to do anything. I think we say greed is good. Take the gold in the middle of the boss fight, sure. Actually, you know what? My calculations are all... I am on autopilot right now from fighting the Guardian so many times, but actually didn't consider that he has the +1 strength. So that's kind of a small little oopsie. I was wondering why I was losing my plated armor, but it's because my my numbers are off. My internal Slay the Spire instinct is betraying me. So the basic idea is I'm just getting rid of like all these starter cards that are just in the way. Like defends are not the best card that we have at actually defending. So we'll get those out of there. There are instances, look at that, it's 50 damage. There are instances where we would want to keep that around, but it's just not, it's not here. It's not right now. So this does 110 damage on its own while we're in Wrath stance. I think we're in the neighborhood of just doing that. And windmill striking it to death. Super easy Act 1 there. I got a Diva Form, Spirit's Shield, and a Lesson Learned. I think we have a good amount of block right now. All of our cards like to be upgraded. Like Bowling Bash gets so much better. Sash Whip is so much better. This stuff's so much better. We could just take a Lesson Learned here. We're already on 4 energy, so Diva Form is good and allows us to gain just more energy over time, but we don't really need it right now. Spirit Shield could be okay with some card draw in Wheel Kick. Again, I don't think we need it. We'll go with the Lesson Learned, I suppose. I think one of my first Watcher runs ever, I took Runic Pyramid because it's my favorite relic in the game. And then somebody in my chat was like, why did you take Runic Pyramid? It's like you have Retain. Like, oh yeah, I have Retain. We don't really need Runic Pyramid. Oh well. We are going against Champ, though, at the end of Act 2 here. And we are bottlenecked into an elite before a campfire. It's just not ideal. We choose to go to an early shop here or here, which I like a lot. Same philosophy, we're not going to take more than 3 combats into an elite fight, especially when they're before a campfire. Good old dancing avocado here. Akabiko. I want to get Wish off. That's 12 plated armor on its own, and we're on the lower Ascension, so we're not getting hit for 21 on turn 1. Though just taking gold here is so greedy, but it's so good. This is the problem. This is the problem. I'm gonna opt to not take damage instead. This is not exactly turned into the speed run that I kind of sold at the very beginning, but I hope somebody out there is getting something out of this run. I tend to ramble on in my streams. I just can't really help it. I love to share the knowledge of the game, so it just kind of on autopilot, just talking about what I would normally be talking about when I'm streaming. So I can't help it. So I'm not really bothering to do any math here, even though I probably should be. Here I will. So if we Wrath and then Windmill Strike, I think we can Lesson Learned. I'm pretty sure that works out. So this is 69. Nice. Damage. He's on 68 health. It's actually too much. Oh. What if we Windmill Strike beforehand? We could Windmill Strike, Eruption, Bowling Bash, and then somewhere in there... Wait, that's 2, 3, 4... Then we would have to 5, 6. So So this is 39 damage plus 8. 47. He's on 21. This would be 20. Really? Like one off. We could use a bottled miracle. I don't really value this potion very highly. Yeah, let's just do that. It seems worth it. Let me make sure my math was right. It was not. Get our vigilance upgraded. I'm very excited my math was off. I'm going to take this flying sleeves largely to pair with or eruption and potential plus strength from wish. Really nice upgrade there. Ooh, pick up a kunai. Every time you play 3 attacks in a single turn, gain 1 dexterity. 4 energy. There's a very good possibility that occurs, so happy to have it. See, I gotta remember, this was 12 plus 6, yeah. So, like, Wish, like Water is our ideal setup turn, which means I should have kept Ascender's Bane in my opening hand. Again, just kind of playing quickly. Maybe unnecessarily, but I'm trying to prove a point that you can just kind of blast through these early Ascensions and be just fine. My arrogance will be my undoing. It could happen. How much block that is when we're on Calm. That's crazy. So at this point in time, we're waiting for Lesson Learned. And don't really want to draw through it. Okay. We'll draw through it. So if we Eruption, we go to 3 energy. We could... That doesn't work. Okay. We will prolong the fights. I think even though we're trying to go quickly... hold on. Hold on, something came up. I think we're still fine, right? We blocked for currently 19. We're getting hit for... Yeah. We're totally fine. And then we want to draw through as much as we can so we can just get to our lesson learned again. Sure. Okay. Should be about good. Now we're in lesson learned territory without having to actually do anything. Use third eye there to basically guarantee it. Whoops. Last card, as is tradition. We'll get our strike upgraded. Ray. Absolutely take a wall up. Pairs very nicely with Eruption. Chance to duplicate a card. Really like a card like Talk to the Hand and Tantrum. But we only have one way into Calm. So we could also pair that with a Tranquility. Go ahead and remove one of our strikes before we do much of anything else, because that has to happen. Take the Talk to the Hand. Potential for a Foresight as well. Sure. Let's not think too much. This is the speed run. The whole point is that it's fast. This... Oh, that was a mistake, actually. Should have done Wallop first. I forgot we had Akabiko. Yeah, Book of Stabbing with plus strength is no joke. I'm using both of our potions here just to get through this fight. This is going to be one of our more difficult fights, I think, that we come across. We're only currently taking 1 damage, so I actually don't know if I want to use this Bottled Miracle, though we could get +1 dexterity out of it. That's honestly +1 dexterity in a Book of Stabbing fight is maybe the best value we're going to get out of it, Maybe there's a scenario where we get, like, divinity sometime in the future, and that makes it more worthwhile. I don't know. We'll see. We're getting hit for 24 this turn. If we can make them weak, that would be cool. We cannot. I thought it would be interesting if they would put in a mechanic to allow us to scry past the bottom of your deck, basically. Yikes. So we can Tantrum, Wall Up, and then get back into Calm Stance with Tranquility. Almost certainly one of our best forms of block. Yeah, I like that a lot. And then we can just dig for the kill here, I think, with this Eruption. That might do it. Oh, we have Wish. We can actually Wheel Kick into Tantrum again, too. Let's see if we have the kill outside of that. I would like to get Wish down. Yeah, we do. Be greedy. A Ginger, a Smoke Bomb, and a chance at a Meditate. Love a Meditate. The events. Ooh, chance at Apparitions. I don't know if we want this. We're not stacking block. I like our HP. So we're going into one more elite. It's either going to be the Gremlin Leader or the Tri-Slavers. Worst case scenario, we could just Smoke Bomb out. I don't really want to do that. Not taking upgrades tends to be maybe a bit of a trap, but we have a lesson learned. I think if we're just trying to blast through lower Ascensions, we can be less risky than we would otherwise on the higher Ascensions. How much to talk to the hand? 13? That's kind of annoying. So I would like to Vigilance like water for this fight. But Wheel Kick is a kill on the Sneaky Gremlin. And we're lacking damage for the Gremlin Wizard. It is its own form of spooky. Oh. I love this game. So Foresight's always making something free thanks to Mummified Hand, which happens to just be more block for us. Very nice turn. Again, not really doing the math here. We can just jump right back into Calm and then even go into Eruption again if we want to. Excuse me, Wrath Stance if we want to. Keep stacking the Windmill Strike, though. We don't need to go into Calm this turn. We basically just need to block a lot. Next turn should be, at least in theory, a Summon turn. So I'm going to get rid of this stuff. I don't know if we ever get the Lesson Learned off. If you get really lucky with a Wrath Stance, I think. It's not what happened. Okay. Okay, we are only being attacked by one right now. I don't even really want the Flying Sleeves, to be honest, but it is a full block in the sense that we can use Talk to the Hand. It gives us 6 block on its own, but we might just have like close to a kill here. We could dig for a Wish. I'd really like to get the Lesson Learned back. I don't think we ever do, though. Unless we really dug for it. Don't think we can. We'd have to kill these guys. Basically just prolong the fight to try to get a Lesson Learned in. Which we could do. Let's do that. We have Tranquility in hand anyway. So this is kind of that opportunity to dig really hard. Go through that stuff. Get our wish off too. We're already in Wrath, so we're going to get rid of all of that stuff. Just dig for Lesson Learned. Also, maybe be careful because we do actually need to kill the Gremlin Leader with Lesson Learned, and we're not quite in that territory yet. Suddenly, we are, though. This is too much damage now? Oh no, we just have it. Okay, get our Bowling Bash upgraded for free for our patience. Pick up a Captain's Wheel. And Weave is kind of nice sometimes. You could take a second Like Water for even more block. Let's get a bit crazy with it. And we could remove our unupgraded strike. Or excuse me, our upgraded strike. Also maybe remove some of these defends at this point. We are not usually using defends to block due to the Like Water, and now Like Waters both would be pretty decent. And just a block potion. Strike is just terrible. Even though we're probably never defending. Still gonna get rid of that. Who's our boss again? Champ? Champ is spooky. We could upgrade Weave. It's a fair amount of extra damage. Also, just Meditate is also very good. We don't have anything like an establishment to really make Weave amazing, but we could get there. Wall up, Talk to the Hands. I think I just like Talk to the Hand. I think upgrading the Talk to the Hand is going to allow us to get more kunai charges as well. But we'll see. All right, we're going to use turn 1 Akabiko on Wallop for sure. And then Tranquility Like Water is 7 additional blood. That really worked out. We're not getting attacked. We'll scry away Weave basically every time. We can just get it right back. Thank you, Kunai. Yeah, Auric Helcom's always better than... Nice. Always better than a block, so there's truly just no need at all to use those. Go for gold every time. It's too good. Oh, I was actually just going to meditate there, but, you know, that works too. Oh, nice. Okay. Thought for a second there I was going to, like, have to do math or whatever, which is just gross. I'll take a deceive reality, I guess. We're at 26 cards. I don't want to go too much more than this. I think I actually like shuffling the Wish. Wish, you know, at worst comes back at 3 energy, so we might as well. Excuse me, I was told there would be sales. All right, we have the Captain's Wheel this turn, so we don't need to block for much more at all. Get that Weave out of there. Maybe should have played Talk to the Hand first. This is where retain becomes maybe a little bit of a curse. Maybe sometimes. Or windmill strike free. Interesting. We'll take back a wheel kick since it's 0 cost. And yeah, let's see what happens with these cards. We might actually just have a kill. I think we do. Wait, do we have... Oh, we still have Lesson Learned to go through. Alright. Let's see if we draw into it here. Do not. Looks like we can force ourselves to draw into it next turn, though. So as long as we get it within 10 HP, should be just fine. That'll do. Let's please learn them. Our Protect upgraded. A chance at a Snecko Oil? I don't think so. Take a second Protect just for fun, basically. And we're going into the champ fight, which is all sorts of spooky. Gonna get our passive block upgraded. Champ does like to attack us quite a lot, and I don't know how I feel about this one in particular. Like, I think we're fine, but sometimes we're not. Oh my. Oh, how greedy am I? Now let's do strength. I think we need the strength. Almost very greedy is the answer, in case you were wondering. 19 right there. All right. Toot toot, we're on a boat. Got the captain's wheel procced here. I wonder how long we could just sit here and let Windmill Strike stack. I mean, with 2 like waters, I bet we're pretty close to just sitting here for the remainder of the fight and pressing E and feeling pretty good about it. I mean, we can still push towards half HP, but you know, like we're pretty good here. Like, too many. I gotta play a safety just to get rid of them. Get a full draw here. Always discard Weave, or scry away Weave. Happen to not know. Just comes right back. Oh, we have 5. Oh, we have 10 cards. All right, sometimes maybe. Don't do that. But usually. Sort of a second safety here. Weave! I'm trying to go not fast, but faster than I have been going. Because the whole premise of this video was like, it's easy. You just speed run through it. And I don't think I've been showing that off very well. But it's easy. You just speed run through it, let me tell you. Okay, so we always do this. Actually, do I want Tantrum in my draw pile? I guess we can always just scry it away, right? The basic idea is below 220 HP, Champ is going to go into the next phase. So we want to push him to the point where he's not quite at 220, and then go for a 1-shot or a 2-turn kill with Windmill Strike. So we're very close at this point, with Windmill Strike being at 88 damage. But there's no real need here to go much further than this. Just gonna like AFK for the remainder of the fight. Block when we need to block. Actually really good. Get that tiny bit, tiny bit closer. And in a perfect world, like I said, we get the lesson learned off too. We are at 69 nice HP. We don't have lesson learned in our draw pile. We're very close to just going. Yeah, let's just do it. I think it's time. This is a pretty good hand for it. Boop. Chance at an Alpha, a Deus Ex Machina, and a Diva form. Alpha's okay, I guess. Alright, now we have a chance at a Astrolabe, a Calling Bell, and a Snecko Eye. Snecko Eye is interesting, but I don't think we need it. I'm actually just going to take the Astrolabe for our defense at this point. Picked up an upgraded Weave, a Nirvana, and a Consecrate. All good. Our boss is going to be Donu and Deka here, and we're at about 40 minutes or so. 141 gold. Now, when we reach the end here, we don't actually have to take any risks. I think we can beat Donu and Deka with what we have in our hand. So that's basically all we're going to go for. Sad face. So we can use a strategy that is usually just called elite dodging and bounce around, like the name implies, dodge elites and be pretty safe. Toot toot, we are back on this boat. It's my thing over here. Okay. So we're already at a full block. Wondering if we can get away with this tantrum. We do have vigilance coming around. This will go to 36. We already full block. Let's go for it. Definitely don't want that. I think the windmill strike also kind of sucks. Spooky. Huh. Oh, never mind. Maybe this is one of the issues that I've run into with my Watcher playthroughs, is that I don't quite have all the stuff just on autopilot in the brain yet. So the issue with Madness is always drawing it. We have Mummified Hand. We'll not do any of that. Say no, since we're on the lower ascensions, we don't take any damage from doing it. We're 21 on turn 1. I like having the Perseverance in our opening hand. Wallop alone is almost enough to deal with these guys. I've not been very good with Lesson Learned. Our area of effect damage is going to come through in Bowling Bash almost exclusively. But it's a fair amount of damage when we do draw through to it. Yikes. This turn does not spark joy. Alright, we got the captain's wheel out here, finally. We could have played Windmill Strike there for the +1 dex. That might have been something that I hadn't considered. We can also just go for Omega, which will basically one-shot these nerds. See what Nirvana makes free. Meditate was maybe the worst one there. Maybe. Let's bring back Bowling Bash. Okay. I think I am just going to play Omega. And that'll just kill everything. It's 50 damage at the end of our turn, and well, none of them are even close to surviving. Boop. No lesson learned. Cancel and evaluate there, I saw for a second. Interesting-ish. Master of Strategy is pretty good. I like this Spirit Shield a lot, though. Scales with our dexterity on a pretty amazing level. Also Study. Yeah, I like that a lot. Alright, I have to look at what some of these upgrades are. Study Plus costs 1 energy. Basically pays for itself with Mummified Hand. I am liking that. Otherwise, we go for like a Spirit Shield upgrade. I don't know if we need it. Go for Study. Study the Spire. My least favorite fight in the game. This is how much I hate this guy. I'm not even gonna try. I am so vehemently against everything that the Writhing Mass brings to this game. I'm not even gonna acknowledge it. We're just moving on. Ooh. Okay, this is interesting. We don't have a lot of attacks. Huh. This is a slight problem. The really nice thing about the Transient is we are very much rewarded for being in Wrath Stance in that all of our damage being doubled has a massive effect on the strength down. That the Transient is affected by. Still scary though. Could choose to enter calm. Maybe that's wise. Is Omega ever... It's 3 energy. We have to play 2? It's gonna take at least 2 more turns. We have 18 cards in our draw pile. We have to get through 3 more turns. Maybe we're fine. Tantrum free. Alright, we have Pen Nib for next turn. We have Vigilance coming around. We have Windmill Strike in our hand. I'm gonna pass. Ooh. So interesting. Oh, I meant to use that on Windmill Strike. It's fine. Oh, Vigilance seems like the coward's path, and we don't have our Like Waters in play. Spooky. I'm gonna do it though. We also have Tranquility. I don't know. This fight's giving me more concern than I had thought it would. Oh, we want Sash Whip for sure. Study pays for itself and can make Windmill Strike free. Think that's good? Yeah, lesson learned. Lesson learned is awesome. Thanks. Okay. So if we Tranquility, Lesson Learned, Study, Windmill Strike is always free? Or we could just end the fight. Makes sense. At this point, I'm looking... Oh, Cut Through Fate's so good. I was about to say I'm looking for very specific cards to add, but apparently Cut Through Fate is that very specific card I was looking for. Here. Wow, this is 60 damage. We'll go ahead and take one of these guys out since they're buffing their strength this turn. Seems good anyway. Have any Like Waters in play? Makes Vigilance seem a lot worse. Maybe we should shoot for a Lesson Learned here. Alright, I'm gonna accept the damage. Take the Like Water. The flying hand, talk to the hand, flying sleeves is a fair amount of block on its own. And then we can, I guess we can do this too. And light water will make something free. Already full blocking though. Just digging for the lesson learned at this point. Could change it up and make this my lesson learned target, I guess. This is on 25. We just kill this one. Even though this one has more strength. Just take him out. Boop. Our Cut Through Fate upgraded. We'll take a vault. I guess we're going to 33 cards. Unintentionally. And we're getting close to Donu and Deca time. I think I might want to get Alpha upgraded. If we get Omega in play against Donu and Deca, it's just going to come down... Oh my god! I hate this guy. I hate this guy. So much. Alright, same strategy as Donu and Deca. We are just getting Omega into play. We basically never attack this guy unless we are... Making sure I have enough block. Unless we are getting a curse into our deck. Let's see, we're blocking for not nearly enough. Okay. These retain cards may actually end up being a small problem. Wallop doesn't actually work here. It says gain block equal to unblocked damage dealt. So, obviously we are not getting through the block. Well, we are, I guess, with one, but not worth it. I'd actually prefer if we did less damage, I think, so I could use things like Cut Through Fate. Maybe we'll just apply the talk to the hand. Maybe. Dug too deep. All right. So we have 6, 13, let me see, 13, 16 block right now. Use our Perseverance to full block, I guess. Let's get this out of our hand. Don't need to be drawing it again. I'm just getting hit for a casual 45 damage. Just writhing math things. Also writhing math. Okay, we are not going to do this. Now we do want to hit this guy. Yeah, 25 is fine, my dude. You can do 25. I'm okay with this. But the, random spikes to 45 just seems so strange on this fight. We don't really have any need to pop the wish now. Nice. That really worked out. We're at 34, 37 block. We need a small amount more. Can't really get. It's like a lot more. This is actually where study starts to almost be a hindrance because it's too many cards. And can't really dump them. Get rid of that tranquility, I suppose. Ah. He's no curse. You are curse enough, let me tell you. Just seeing you is enough to change how I feel about this run. All right, this should be the last turn. Cool, take a stance potion, upgraded third eye, why not? And these nerds again. Sure. Basically just gonna keep this hand so we don't draw more stuff. Get alpha into play. Same as last time, really. I mean, we're just getting Omega into play and calling it good. Done this first. Oh, whoops. I do kind of feel as though I've disrespected the wonderful kunai that we got very early on. And, you know, my apologies to Kunai and Kunai's family. But what was I supposed to do, dude? Basically, we just want Omega. Please. Which damage is this? I don't know. Throw some block out there. This is like, eventually, if you do enough in Slay the Spire, you reach a point where it, I don't know, it just starts to make sense. Like, do we have enough block? Probably, right? Chance at a Dex potion. Don't want the rush down. I will take the Dex potion over Distilled Chaos. I don't know if we needed it or not, but I like it. I think I want to get either Spirit Shield or Perseverance upgraded for the spike in block. We can do nice things with both of those cards and Meditate to bring them back. Tough choice. A Spirit Shield. A fair amount of things that retain. So, seems good. Oh, this is kind of a fun hand. Yes. Okay. Take our Dex potion, why not? And probably just enter Calm. I guess we can save it for next turn. We'll see what happens here. Screw it. We'll just enter Calm. Basically, this is same idea. We're just putting Omega into play and we win. Don't have to do too much more galaxy braining than that. Do this stuff. Guess we'll keep Vigilance around for the block. Thanks. Toot toot, we got the Captain's Wheel activated. I think I care about that. We'll take the Kunai proc. Actually shouldn't have drawn into a potential beta there. Just being careless. I guess the good thing about beta being at the bottom of our deck is that we're going to draw Omega very shortly after this point. Right? Meow, in fact. Or Meditate free. Tranquility free. I think Tranquility is just always kind of garbage, though. Alright, we're going to take a hit, but the fight's basically over at this point. We can draw through to Meditate. That would be very nice. Sure. Hey, there is Meditate. Again, I'm at the point where I can't be bothered to do all the all the math. It's just kind of, the fight's just kind of over in my mind. And also, not only in my mind, but also in reality. Okay, one more turn. We'll press E. Say GG to Donu and Deka. Really solid Ascension 13 run there. Got up to 34 cards, which is more than I would typically like to be at, but stayed under an hour there. Honestly, if I was doing that without commentary, that would have been maybe just say a 45-ish minute run, maybe 50. I don't really know how much I droned down about nothing in particular, but that was the basics. You know, by the time we hit the third act, we were already, like, we had enough relics. We didn't need to take the risks. I want to give a little shout out to the Eternal Feather real quick before I close out the video. Let me see my run history here. The Eternal Feather allowed us to get a lot of extra upgrades and allowed us to just completely disrespect the lesson learned that we picked up somewhere early on. We got a few procs off of it, but eventually I just stopped caring because the deck was strong enough to carry us without, I don't know, much help at all. The Windmill Strike that we added early on, I think this was early Act 1, was taken out of necessity at the time. It did some nice things for us on the Champ fight. It basically scaled us past the point where Champ was scaling, so it worked there. It fell off pretty hard into Act 3, though, when we were just kind of blasting through things with Omega. But all in all, a pretty solid run. That was Ascension 13. We'll be back pretty soon with Ascension 14. We're going to keep the same ideas going. Nothing much has changed at this point. You saw during that run that the HP didn't dip too low. I never really felt like we were on the verge of death, except when we were fighting like Gremlin Knob very early on in Act 1. That was spooky. I thought the run was over for a moment. But hey. The video is an hour long, so I guess that didn't go that way. But we started with lower max HP, and it doesn't really matter. The gameplay is going to be the same. Nothing has changed. But anyway, I'll see you guys back for the next one. Thanks for hanging out during this video. Catch you tomorrow.